Today on 47 Motorsports, we're going to talk a little bit about what is our favourite car. Well, I say our individual.
Individually, our
I don't think we have a
cars.
collective favourite, do we?
No, I hate everything you like.
Because I like.
That's true, then it should be, really, isn't it?
It is kind of true. Every time we post something in the group chat, Conor's like, and then every time he posts something, me and Doyle will be like, fuck, that's class. Whereas you will never say you like something we like. But anyway, let's get started. So, Conor, as always, why don't you go first?
Well, my favourite car changes every 5 minutes.
Well, this is a good premise for the video, isn't it? Christ.
You know, this week, my favourite car well, it's going to be a Mercedes, right?
Really?
Could you have guessed?
Well, we're sitting in front of the Impreza. I was going to turn around and go, really? But can't do that. And the one with everything else is out of shot. But I don't think it's any surprise to anyone who watches this channel that your choice would be a Mercedes. So go on, which one is it this week?
This week, it's the W116 6.9.
Nice.
Super,
Write that down and say nice.
super duper nice. Super duper saloon of the 70s.
Right. And
So in the 60s, they had the 6.3, right? They had the red pig. In the
the red pig.
In the W108. You
looks
can stick
like
a picture
our
of that up.
fin tail, but isn't a fin tail.
Yeah.
It's our fin tail without the fins.
Yeah.
And worth a lot more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically. They took that engine, they bored it out to 6.9
What was it before?
because nice. 6.3.
Oh shit, yeah.
So they made it nice.
Nice. 6.9.
Nice.
Nice.
And they put it in the W116 chassis, which had better
What
suspension.
was the W1?
It was the S-Class of its day.
S class? Right. Okay.
But it actually, so the way Mercedes develops their cars, or they did back then, they leapfrog technology around. Right. So the 108...
One thing I will say here is that with him changing his mind every 5 minutes about what his favourite car is, you learn a lot. Because he gets obsessed with that one car and then tells us a lot about it, and then
It's got to be like
we learn something.
some sort of autism.
Do we bleep that out? I don't know.
It's not a bad word.
No.
So basically, in this W108, which was the S-Class of the 60s,
Right.
they still were using this rear suspension setup from the Fintail, the S-Class of the 50s,
Right.
which has an atrocious swing axle, unsafe at any speed.
What's the swing axle for our viewers? Because I know what one is.
So basically...
It doesn't have a torsion bar. I don't want to know.
God bless life for your axles. Basically, a swing axle is a form of suspension, and you probably have to put a diagram up here, but
I will.
basically it just, like, your rear suspension is independent, but very, very basic. So it doesn't have trailing arms or anything like that to stabilize it, so it is literally just like that, and it will...
Oh, will it flex then? If it doesn't have arms, kind of securing it?
There's no trailing arms, so it allows for a lot of body roll, and when you take a corner too hard, it can provide you with lots of... is it oversteer or understeer? I think it's oversteer.
It'll be oversteer.
It's snap oversteer.
Snap oversteer. Because there's no such thing as snap understeer, I don't think.
I know you can get really bad understeer with...
MR2 owners, let us know in the chat.
comment about MR2 ownership. Yeah, so the W108 had that system, whereas when the 115, which is basically a smaller 108, they can't see it, but you can put a picture in, but it's there.
Well, I can't see it. Oh, the one. Okay.
Yeah, the W115 had a brand new, much safer suspension setup in it. Much more like modern independent rear suspension. So it was actually a really well handling car.
If it ran.
Yeah, if it ran, you would know. So that's the interesting point, because they're basically an identical car, but that one's a bit smaller to the 108.
Right, okay.
The S-Class and the E-Class, but the E-Class handles better.
Because it's smaller.
Because it's got
because it has
better
the fancy,
suspension.
yeah, okay, I'm with you.
Yeah. So when you get into the 70s, they made the new S-Class, which looks like a 123, but bigger and wider. Yeah.
It looks meaner than a 123. It looks the 116 to the 123. I'm sorry to non-Mercedes people who are just hearing all these chassis codes.
It's just like
it's nothing.
Yeah.
But the 116 to the 123 is the 7 Series BM to the 5 Series of like the 90s, like the E34.
Yeah.
The 7 Series is just a wider, more squatted version of the same thing.
Yeah.
And looks the tits, to be fair, but
It does look nice.
you know, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Because if you're not a Mercedes person,
You don't know.
You're person.
You're just like, what?
I'm just spitting shit here.
They have turned off already if they're not Mercedes people, to be fair.
But we've more.
But wait, there's more. So basically, they whacked a 6.9 litre engine in there, and it handled well, and it went really well. And they made that fella that made that film in Paris. You know, the one where he pretends it's a Ferrari.
Oh, what is it?
C'était en rendezvous.
C'était voulez-vous, whatever.
ABBA.
Yeah, that one. That's meant to be a Ferrari Daytona.
Yeah, it's the pure Miami Vice spec. They put the Daytona signs over.
Could nobody afford a Daytona at the time or something?
Could.
Like.
Put V12 signs over a Mercedes V8. I would have just kept. Yeah, I know why I did it, but it's a cool little film, and it's on YouTube. Basically, like an 8-minute drive through Paris that was done completely illegally, and he got arrested straight after he filmed it.
Nice.
Because he just like rallied around Paris at like 5 in the morning, like
That'll
through
be
red
us
lights
with
and
the
all.
amount of stories we told and these videos that really shouldn't
Arrested
be told.
straight away. Yeah, it's a cool little film. Watch that. So that's this week's car of the week for me. Just because it was probably like one of the first just like super saloons like to rival. It rivaled the Ferraris of the day.
Fair. Mercedes have a habit of doing that with their
Yeah.
AMGs now. Is like in a sedan that can do basically anything, which is pretty cool.
I like the idea of that.
So that's your car of the week.
That's my car of the week.
We'd
My
have to do
favourite
like
car
a-
of all time this week.
We'd have to do like a graphic that's like Conor's favorite car of the week.
Our new regular feature.
Well, speaking of shoehorning big engines into things, my favorite car of all time has a name that might be very familiar to people watching the channel right now. And it is, and always has been, because some of us can stick to one thing. God, the Shelby Cobra 427. Oh. Hey, that's the name of the show.
The Shelby Cobra 427 Motorsports.
Yes, my favorite car for not as long as I can remember, because I can't remember a favorite car before it, and it just happens to be it was helped built by the same man who built my current favorite car, was the Dodge Viper, which was actually a modern interpretation of the Shelby Cobra. So it's pretty funny that my first favorite car as a kid was a Cobra.
Carl
descendant.
Shelby.
Yeah, I think Carl Shelby's just my man. Like, rest in peace.
God bless.
Pour one out for Carl.
Yeah.
But basically, the Shelby Cobra started life as a small British sports car by AC Cars, which are a company who are long defunct by now. I would assume.
Oh yeah, I mean they were making cars in the 20s.
Yeah, like they're long gone. The Shelby name has lasted a lot longer than the AC Cars name. Yeah, so the Shelby Cobra started out life as the AC Ace, and then Carl Shelby retired from racing. You learn a lot if you watch Le Mans.
Wait, was it not a
66.
Cobra as well for AC?
Yeah, they sold it in the UK.
Oh, as a Cobra?
Yeah, as a Cobra.
With the Ford engine in?
They didn't call it the Cobra because Carl owned the rights to the name Cobra. They called it just the Mark. So it was the AC Mark III or the AC 427.
That's very English, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, basically Carl Shelby retired from racing and he wanted to start building cars, and he wanted to actually get a contract with Chevrolet. Fun fact, he went to Chevrolet asking for engines and Chevrolet turned him down.
Good.
He's really a GM, don't you? So Carl Shelby went to Ford afterwards, and they had this new, it may have been new, it was a 289 engine, not the 427. Silly me, I edited out the part where I got it wrong, I'm sure. So Carl went to Ford, they gave him the 289 engine, and then he needed a car to put it in. So then he heard of a little small British company called Ace, or AC, who were making the Ace. He shoehorned the 289 in, and the Cobra was born.
Nice.
And it was just an animal. It beat so many cars on the track. beat Ferraris and everything. And then things got a bit faster in the world and he needed something bigger to put in it. So then he shoehorned in Ford's new 427 engine and created the beast that we all know and love. And you can tell the difference between 289 and the 427 by the flared arches. 427 is way, way, way wider than the 289. A 289 looks like a 427 with bulimia.
Nice.
So basically it's none of the curves. No good. So yes, the Shelby Cobra has always been my favourite car. You can find out a lot more about the Cobra on Donuts Up to Speed videos. There's really no point in me waxing lyrical. It's a story that's been told many a time, but it's just a great underdog story about how a chicken farmer from Texas decided, you know what, I'm going to build a race car. And he did, and then he beat everyone, and then Ford asked him to build a GT40, and then
I was
the
going to
rest
say,
is history.
was the 289 the engine they originally put in the GT40?
Would have been.
Before they decided it wasn't big enough and they had to go with
I think it was the 289 and the GT4. I'm not sure.
You can double check.
I'll double check and I'll write it down. But the 427 only came in whenever they developed the Mark II GT40, which is the one that's in the film and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But that is where the name 427 Motorsports originally came from. It actually started way, way back in primary school with me and my friend Shay when we used to draw pictures of cars in our books, and we started our own imaginary car company, and it was called 427 Customs. And then Forza 2 came out on the Xbox.
Nice. The original Xbox?
No, 360.
Really?
Forza 1 came out in the original Xbox.
Okay.
But Forza 2 came out on the Xbox 360. I was still quite, 2007, so I would have been 10 or 11. And I decided I was going to race online a lot and I needed a team name from a racing team. And well, the 427 domain was kind of just hanging around there. Nobody had laid claim to it since 1965. So then I changed it from Customs to Motorsports because it was Forza Motorsport. And 427 Motorsports was born. And originally, all the cars I did for 427 Motorsports for Forza 2 were yellow with an off-centered black stripe and a small black stripe next to it. Then I watched Kill Bill when I was a bit older and I was like, hey, where have I seen that before? Turns out I had a Kill Bill race team. Pure coincidence. And then the colours became like blue and yellow and white, and then you came along, and then this came along, and so
here we are.
My favourite car is more than just my favourite car. It's kind of where this all started, despite the fact I've never had one. But someday, when we eventually...
You might get a replica.
Better than that, I was going to say, someday, if our channel takes off, and that can only happen with the help of everybody watching, someday, we on this channel are going to buy a kit to build a Cobra, and we'll document it on the channel.
Nice.
And when that car is done, that'll be the end of the channel. We've completed points. Finished, end, complete, done. Someday, that's for me personally, that is the aim of this channel. That someday we'll build a replica.
I suppose you can get all the bits for them fairly.
You can buy every single component for them, except for the engine. Well, you could buy a brand new crane engine if you wanted, but like you buy the kits from kit car companies. I think they're only about 20 grand, like 20,
it's not
25
much
grand.
for what you get, really.
Yeah, for what you're getting, that is not much. I mean, yeah, build it yourself. Model kit then. The old fella that buys the kit thinking, I'm going to build that someday, and it sits in the shed half done and never gets finished. We will finish it, and it'll be with the support of you guys watching. But what engine we would put into it would be another thing altogether. A boxer engine? Are you mad? I was thinking of TDI.
Oh God. I'm sure nobody wants to see
TDI Motorsports. Nah, we'd have to put a V8 of some kind in there.
It would have to be.
Yeah, but someday on the channel we'll build a Cobra, and maybe someday we'll get a W116. Who knows? But
it'll be a different car by then.
Yeah, we're not 116 Motorsports, so
no.
But yeah, so that was a quick insight into, well, I was going to say our favourite cars, but it was an insight into my favourite car and Conor's favourite car this week.
Flavour of the week.
That's the thing. We could do short comment if you like it, but if you like it, then when Conor changes his mind of what his favourite car is and when he's inspired, he could do a quick 10-minute video on this is my favourite car this week. This is why it's cool. This is what I like.
That could be done. If you want me to do that, just tell us.
Please tell us, because I mean, if you don't tell us, we won't know. So
yeah,
hey ho. Actually, no. tell us, but we're probably going to do it anyway because we like doing stuff. So, you know, but hey-ho.
Yeah.
Anyway, as ever, be sure to follow me on Instagram at tomo.pattison.
And follow me at Hughes Corporation
Where?
on Instagram.
That's the one.
If you like.
If you like.
If you like that sort of thing.
Yeah. Subscribe to our channel because that really means a lot to us, and we kind of constantly sit and work and refresh our YouTube studio to see if we've got more subscribers because we're that sad.
Yes.
Follow our camera lady at Chrissy Ewens, who again, as in the last questions video, isn't here right now, otherwise she'd have very steady hands.
Yeah.
And that is it. So we'll see you in the next one, and good luck.
Good luck.